Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. Thank you so much for coming by, checking out the video, checking out the channel. This is a collective reading and it is timeless. So whenever you come across this video, however and whenever you find it, it is the right time for you to be getting this message. And I am very glad that you are joining us today. We have a very special card that we're going to be looking at. I like to do a couple of things before we look at the book and find out what the reading says for us in the book. But we have drawn this card. We were looking for clarification or guidance, maybe confirmation on something that we've been working on recently, or something that's come up in the past, or maybe coming up in the real near future. Sometimes these readings go a little bit longer than just the day that they are posted. And obviously, as I said, it is a collective reading and timeless, so it is not, doesn't make any difference. When you come across this video, it's the right time for you to be getting this information. So I am so glad that you are here to join us. We have been going through the Crystal Grid Oracle deck by Nicola McIntosh, and today's card is card number 35, Release. And our stones that we have showcased in our grid are Tektite and Ulexite. And they are very interesting, unique stones if you're not familiar with them. We're going to look at some information that I was able to find online about them because I'm not familiar with every stone. I'm not an expert on everything. What I do is channel information that's coming from me or from the divine realms through me, as it were, and then get whatever information I have available to me online as well, so that we get a well-rounded reading, literally, from this card. And we'll start with the number 35. The number 35 reduces down to an 8. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 is the symbol for eternity. It is the symbol for renewal, for ebb and flow, for cycles. And we have in front of us a grid which basically looks like a pretty simple circle, but there's nothing simple about circles. Circles are continuous. They are the circle with a small dot at the very center is the seed of creation, literally the sacred symbol that's been used throughout millennia, through thousands of years in cave paintings and etchings, petroglyphs. The circle with the tiny dot at the center, it stands for creation. It stands for renewal energy, for new energy. So this is going to be a lovely reading for us, for those that are trying to start new projects or considering new projects, maybe new directions that you're going in. And the keyword release, again, I haven't looked in the book to see what the reading actually says. You and I will go through it together for the first time when I read it now. So I don't know what this card is going to say in terms of the book, but I know what I'm hearing from my guides and the divine realms as I've asked for clarification and guidance for the highest and greatest good of whoever is finding this video. So Tektite has a very interesting bit of history on it. It is a meteoric formation. So it's not a meteor, but it is a form of glass that is formed by a meteoric impacts. Try saying that 5 times fast. They can be found in the Czech Republic when they're called moldavite. They can be found also across the world in the United States, China, Vietnam, Thailand, Australia, and throughout Northwest Africa. Now, tektites are often confused with obsidian, which is also a form of glass. Obsidian is formed at a much lower temperature as a result of lava, as a result of volcanic explosions, volcanoes specifically. And as crazy as it sounds, the temperature from a volcano is considerably less than the temperature of a meteor coming in from space through our atmosphere and literally burning up from traveling thousands of miles per second. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. It would just go by in a whir. Phew, it's gone. That would be how fast it was going. And they get very, very hot. So when they impact the ground, They throw Earth up in the air, and it's been superheated by that impact, by the heat itself of the meteorite, and it's thrown up in the air. And as it comes down, it forms these very interesting aerodynamic shapes because it's partly melted in the air from that impact on the ground. So by the time it goes up in the air, it's already starting to cool a little bit, but it's not there yet. And so we get these interesting aerodynamic shapes for tektites. They are not to be confused with fulgates. Those are formed from lightning strikes specifically. So several different kinds of things that we have, but tektites are what is found with King Tutankhamun's sacred, the coffin that he was wearing, his breastplate. Okay, the glass that was at the Scarab Stone Center, that's a tektite, for example. Libyan glass, but formed from a meteoric impact. So very, very cool history on tektites. They are, let's see, let's get a little bit of information on the spiritual properties. Now they resonate obviously at a very high frequency because they have been literally coming to us from outer space. It's very similar to an actual meteorite in terms of energy. This is more grounded though. And in our colors that we see on the card, very obvious blue, green, lots of water energy, lots of earth energy, not so much air energy from that comet or meteorite hitting our planet necessarily, but because these are formed from the impact in the ground, they bring that spiritual cosmic connection, okay? Enabling us to elevate our consciousness to new dimensional heights. Our internal energy will immediately begin to rise upon just connecting with the stone, with your mind becoming a receptor of incoming knowledge from above. This information is being siphoned through our realm by dream work, deja vu experiences, daily synchronicities, and heightened cognitive and psychic abilities. So don't be surprised if throughout the day, now that you've had this connection with this card and with this stone specifically shown on the card, that you get a lot of third eye action going on in the current time and for, possibly an extended time going forward from this reading specifically. The source of this knowledge is the angels above, our spirit guides, and our celestial protectors. These beings have been with us through birth, with others intersecting our life path along the way. Their purpose is to help grow and direct your soul in the right direction. This is expansion of the mind. The extraterrestrial component of the stone is one that should be highly utilized. Okay, take advantage of this. Simply connecting with the stone in terms of any of your chakras at all, any of them, will not only spotlight their traits, but also enhance them. For example, if you were yearning for clarity and expansion of the mind, you should center that energy, bring the energy from this stone, from the image, from the card in front of you, okay? And bring that energy to the top of your head, to the crown chakra. Close your eyes and imagine placing this stone on your crown chakra. If you were looking to expand your consciousness and your connection with the divine, you're looking to open up your third eye and increase your etheric vision, you would imagine, envision in your third eye, touching it, holding, placing a tektite next to the third eye, right in the center of your forehead there, and just hold it and just imagine. If my voice sounds a little muffled, it's because my hand is in front of my face, because I'm doing exactly what I'm saying. So when I give you guys these little bits and pieces, I'm doing them at the same time. So we should be doing them together. Again, you want to have a strong connection with this reading, with the energy of this card. It's the reason why you clicked on this video. So let's get the reading from the book. Oh, before we do that, sorry about that. We got two stones here, and I wanted to touch briefly on ulexite, okay? Now, it's often sold on the metaphysical market as the TV stone. because its fiber optic characteristics make you able to see an image projected onto the other side of the stone. Okay. Um, this is a scarce stone. It is not found across a large variety of the planet, really. This stone, specifically the ulexite, activates the third eye and is used to enhance inner visions, imagination, and creativity. It allows you to see the truth and energy you may not have picked up on before. It's highly vibrational and brings about knowledge regarding your true self. It also activates telepathic abilities in every person through meditation or deep sleep. It's a heavy amplifier working on a high vibrational energy field, which allows the production of projections. It's recommended to put a piece of this stone against your third eye chakra when meditating for maximum potential. So, really, really cool. It's also a mental enhancer. It will quickly pick up the user's mind and make them go faster while also accelerating decision making. It's recommended for anyone who's studying, who's in school right now, or trying to memorize things in a short period of time. This stone will allow you to grasp thoughts and ideas more easily and allows for less stress on the mind. So there's some characteristics and attributions of the stones that we're looking at. Let's take a look in the book and find out what our reading says for us today for card number 35, Release. And I will just say that we know that when we have good stuff coming in, we need to make sure that we're constantly cleaning house, that we're constantly releasing stuff that no longer serves us. We don't have to hold on to things that worked for us in the past. It's possible their usefulness has worn off, and we should be looking for new ways of doing things that will enhance and amplify our personal practices, our personal lives. So, all right, let's find out what the book says now that I've kind of gone on about that. Okay. Tektite is meteoric glass formed by a meteoric impact with the earth. The impact melts the ground, splashing it over distance and speed so that it forms into irregular shapes. You can imagine the speed at which the original meteorite hurled through the atmosphere and the great distance it had traveled. Tektite is here to help you realize all the lessons you have picked up along your journey. Have you accumulated a wealth of knowledge over your lifetime? Or is it time to leave all that no longer serves you behind and move forward? You are an amazing being and should be proud of how you have learned from your past, which has helped you know how to navigate and focus on where you are going forward. This makes it a stone of transformation, whereby the stone has literally combined with the earth and become something new. It is a beautiful balance of as above, so below. It is also a stone that can aid telepathy, and because it comes from outer space, it is believed to aid communication with other worlds and beings. It is an aid to gain knowledge from higher sources. Ulexite, or TV stone as it is sometimes referred to, is an excellent companion to tektite. It is a stone to help with clear seeing, whether that be into a problem, seeing into others, or seeing over distance. It will help magnify whatever you are searching for. If it is placed on your forehead when you are meditating, it may assist in giving you further insight and clarity in these matters. This is a powerful combination to bring any issue to the surface that you wish to let go of, while also creating a layer of protection around you. And I do also want to mention, before we go through the exercise, something I'd noticed before and had forgotten to mention earlier about the grid of the crystals themselves. I see very clearly as above, so below, the big energy coming from above the top of the grid here and funneling through these stones down into the ground. down into our base chakra, literally traveling right through our chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. Those stones right there on the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down at the bottom. You see that? Those are your chakras. And this is the energy, the knowledge, the wisdom, the guidance coming from the divine realms and traveling right through our centers and grounding us, literally grounding us with that energy. So very, very powerful. What is our exercise for the day? There are many exercises you can do with this card depending on what you're looking for. You can work with Tektite to help you release or transform anything that no longer serves you, to make contact with the higher realms. Shamanic journeying is incredibly powerful with the stone and will help you access the upper world while keeping you grounded. You can use the card to raise your vibration when needed, or ask the crystal to help you transmute energy into something more beneficial for you. Now, we've talked a lot about on this channel David Hawkins' emotional scale and how we want to bring, if something has made us angry or fearful, anxious, bitter, frustrated, perhaps irritated, those are not emotions that are benefiting us. They can make us sick physically if we allow them to remain for too long, and we're never instructed to ignore our feelings, to disregard them, to dismiss them. That is not at all what needs to happen. Is we need to identify, become that third person dispassionate observer, and identify and say to ourselves, or say out loud, if nobody's around you or you don't care if anybody hears you, and you shouldn't anyway, this is important work that you are doing. And if the people around you aren't supporting that work, you need to find a different place to work. And I'm not talking about employment. I'm talking about your spiritual practice, your personal practice, the things that you are doing to benefit you personally, to make you stronger emotionally, mentally, physically, and to make your path that much more smooth, that much more in ebb and flow, ease and flow, always. That's where we need to be, always. So that's our reading for today. Very powerful, beautiful reading. Okay. Use the energy of this reading, use the energy of this card and this stone, the grid, the different crystals that are in it. Recall this to your mind as you're going throughout your day. And if something comes up and you're not sure where exactly you want to go with it, just reimagine this grid in your mind. Take a deep breath. Answers are going to come to you if you turn off your brain for a second and simply open your heart and ask God, universe, source, however you define that which cannot be defined. Okay? So don't get hung up on names and labels. That's humans putting things on for filters. And we don't need those. We are beyond those. The whole point of ascension isn't that we physically transport ourselves, although that could very well happen. Don't disregard that by any means. But ascension literally means making that stronger connection between our human consciousness and our higher self consciousness and the divine realms in general. So release what no longer serves you. Plain and simple. Get out of that place that isn't benefiting you and move into that space where you are coming from a place of love. You are coming from a place of self-compassion. We've taken that scale and said, we're angry. We don't want to be angry anymore. We've identified being angry. I'm angry about this. I'm frustrated about this. How can I use it to my benefit? How can I act from a place of love and change it into something beneficial? As soon as you ask those kinds of questions, what can I do from love? What can I do from a place of love? As soon as you start asking those questions, your mood, your attitude is going to change. You cannot remain angry when you're coming from a place of love. You cannot remain bitter and frustrated and anxious when you're coming from a place of love. you're coming from a place of something else. So love has no fear. There is no fear in love, for perfect love casts out fear. Scripture, okay? So take that as your mantra today. We release what no longer serves us so that we can make a stronger connection with our higher selves and with the divine realms. I just looked at the clock and it was 2020 on the timer. Not kidding. So I love you. Have the most amazing, fantastic day. As the book said, you are amazing. As I've said many, many times before, you are amazing. I love you. Have an amazing day. Namaste and ciao for now.